Ooh, good morning, conquerors. I am live, and I wanted to come on and pop. To talk about some things that has helped me lose weight and get in shape. And I'm not talking from just out the side of my neck. I'm talking from experience. And you know what they say, experience is the best teacher. So all the knowledge that I've gained, I'll pass it to you guys, right? I'll put you up on free game. People like to charge you $10,000. Yeah, I get it. But it is what it is. So, here are three things that I did to lose over 100 pounds and keep it off, right? The first thing I did was I eliminated sugar. Now, not completely, but enough of it where I wasn't consuming it all the time, right? We got to get off that sugar, guys. So many chemicals in that sugar, and it's not good for us. So, if you can, I would say like 80 to just keep it 80-20, 80% of your diet, just try to eat healthy foods, right? Eliminating sugar as much as you can, you'll be good. The second thing, walking. Now I know a lot of people underestimate the power of a good walk, but honey, walking is so effective. Don't underestimate it. I spend majority of my time walking, and it's worth it. Now, when I initially started my journey, I really couldn't do a whole lot. I just couldn't. I could not do a whole lot. I weighed over like 350, 60 pounds. I had ankle injuries and a knee injury. And I was able to start walking. I had to slowly progress in my walking. I could only walk. Here it is. Like I was like sitting on my couch, right? I will walk from my couch, won't in the like in the living room or the kitchen, to my front door. I started that way. And then from my front door, I progressed to in front of my garage, walking in front of my garage. Then from in front of my garage to maybe halfway up the sidewalk. So, like I was saying, I could not do much, right? But every day I push myself to get in shape. If I sound like I'm out of breath, guys, I'm actually walking as I'm talking to y'all. So, anyways, let me slow down a little bit. So, I progressed to the sidewalk. And then from that sidewalk, I progressed to walking, just another block up, right? So slowly but surely, I was building up my strength and my stamina. And I noticed that as I started moving my body, like all of the joint issues, all of the pain in my feet, all of that, it started going away as I continued my walks. And so people will try to laugh at you and make fun of you for walking. But honestly, it's the best thing that we can do for our bodies. It really is. So slowly but surely, I started progressing, um, walking up the block. And then eventually, I was walking um, for miles at a time. Now, here's the thing, too. At the time, I had a baby. My baby was about 1 or 2. So I would put her in the stroller, make sure she was fed and different things like that. And then I would put her in the stroller, and then we would go walk for, once I built up my stamina, I would walk for like an hour, you know, but I would put her in the stroller, and sometimes she would end up falling asleep, because I was just out walking with her. So walking, and I did that every day. It started off like just 20 minutes, and then I've been able to progress. So now I can walk for like 2 or 3 hours without needing a break. But what I'm saying is I spent majority of my time walking, right? Um, and like I was saying earlier, people tend to want to underestimate it, but if you're not into CrossFitting and all that stuff, like I'm not, all of that is good, but I'm not into any of that kind of stuff anymore. I was in the Air Force for almost 9 years. And so we did all the things, CrossFitting, uh, we did strength training, we ran miles at a time. I mean, we had to do all the things. What are you saying? I just wanted to say that your channel is doing really good, and keep pushing and don't give up. Much love, honestly, everyone in chat, much love. Thank you. That was sweet of you. Baby, ain't no double cheeseburger gonna fix me over here. I'm just out walking. Ain't nothing stressful about that. Walking is stress relieving. So deuces to you. Anyways, we got some trolls and haters in the comments, but that's okay. But anyways, guys, walking. So the first thing I mentioned before everyone jumped on was changing up your diet. And that was the very first thing that I did. 80% of the time, I ate really clean. And then 20% of the time, I had junk food. So there you have it. You don't have to completely eliminate what you love. You just have to eat less of it. So we're talking about getting that weight snatch, right? You got to change your diet. That's number one. And what I'm telling y'all, I've done myself. No one taught me. I did it myself, right? So change your diet, walking, very powerful. The next thing I did was I started strength training. Now, specifically kettlebell training. And so I had like these kettlebells laying around the house. I went to the Dollar General. And we were going there to get something, me and my sister, and I saw these kettlebells just laying around. So I was like, well, I might as well just buy me one. So I bought two actually, and not really wanting to use them. I just got them, and they were for a really good price. So I found this lady on YouTube, and I started kettlebell training. 20 minutes, 30 minutes tops. And I did that about 2 or 3 times a week, right? When I first started, maybe once a week, just to get used to, that type of training. Anyways, I started kettlebell training, and it paid off. Now, when you're talking about trying to snatch the waist, what's going to help that is, of course, your diet, and then the walking, and then strength training. I started kettlebell training, and kettlebell training was really good for me. And it took me about 10 months to lose all that weight. I lost over 100 pounds. Now, here's the thing too. I could never, some people be like, oh, child, I lost 20 pounds in a month. I lost 30 pounds. I could never do that. I was averaging about 2 to 3 pounds a week, right? And so the weight loss seemed very slow. And so, yeah, 2 or 3 pounds a week. And there were times when I wanted to give up because sometimes, some weeks, I would see the scale go up and I would get discouraged. But what I realized is when you're strength training and doing all those things, sometimes your body is, putting on muscle, or, or you've water weight, or, fluctuations with your cycle, or, you may have had extra salt that day, or whatever the case may be. So sometimes the weight is going to fluctuate. And so in the past, if I saw the weight fluctuate, I would get scared, right? And think I wasn't doing something right. But that wasn't true. Okay, so it's just when you're on this journey, there are going to be days where you're gonna be up some pounds or whatever the case. Don't panic. Just stay to your routine. Keep on your routine, and eventually that weight will come off. That weight will come off. Because in the past, I felt like I was like tied down to the scale. I felt like if I was up a pound or two, the world was over. Like, it was just sad how I let the scale control me, right? But what I realized was the scale is just a tool to help you measure or track what's going on. You can use your clothes if they fit in looser and different things like that. But for me, I carry majority of my weight in my belly. And so if you go to my channel and you look at my videos, you can see a lot of before and afters. I carry majority of my weight in my stomach and in my legs. But what helped me get rid of a lot of the extra, that belly weight, was the walking. Of course, changing my eating habits. No fried foods, except for, on your cheat days or whatever. And then eliminating sugar as much as you can. Those two were the biggest culprits for me. Once I kind of got that under control, I started walking more. And then eventually kettlebell training, that, these YouTube videos, if you can't, a gym membership, all of that, personal trainer, it's too expensive, then YouTube has some really good personal trainers out there that you could follow along. And that's what I did. That helped me lose over the 100 pounds. Now, like I was saying, it did not happen overnight. I did not gain that weight overnight, and you dang sure ain't gonna lose that weight overnight. Sometimes that's the misconception, right? You think you start a weight loss journey or whatever the case may be, and then you think a week later you're supposed to drop like 20-30 pounds or be around here looking like, whatever your ideal body shape is. But it doesn't happen that way. It's gonna happen over time. And that's how it happened for me. Like I was saying, I never lost like 20 pounds in a month. I could never do it. But every week, some weeks I went up, but for the majority, it was 2 to 3 pounds not every week, but consistently, maybe a month, 2 to 3 pounds a month, maybe 4. And that led me to losing the weight. Oh, I'm breathing hard. I told you. I'm sorry, guys. I'm walking. So let me slow down my walking. I'm sorry. I told y'all I don't be playing with my walks. Sorry. I'm slowing down a little bit so y'all can hear me better. Good morning, everyone. Anyway, so let me slow down a little bit so y'all can hear me better. All right. So, like I was saying, I never lost 20 pounds in a month. It was just always maybe 2 to 5 pounds a month. And then eventually, as time went on, that weight came off. And there are going to be times where you get discouraged on your journey, or you feel like it's not, you can't see your results. But this is when I knew, like, sometimes you look in the mirror and you can't see the changes. I don't know if you understand me when I'm saying that, but sometimes, like, when I would look in the mirror, I could not see the changes. Even though on the scale I would see a 2 or 3 pound drop, I couldn't see it. But this is how you know. Other people will start coming up to you, and like, I will have people come up to me and be like, "Girl, you look different. Are you losing weight? Are you, your body changing? You're looking different." So I'm like, oh my gosh, people just coming up to me telling me this. And so sometimes when other people can see it, that's a good sign too. So what I was saying, so it took me 10 months to lose over 100 pounds. And I've been able to maintain that weight by following these 3 rules. Well, it's not rules, but I fast. I live a very fasted lifestyle, not just for spiritual reasons, right? And for healthy reasons. Well, both. I fast for both reasons, spiritual and healthy reasons. Your fasting keep you young, honey. I'll be turning 40 in 3 days. So fasting keep you young. And then 2, having so much weight on you, it ages you. It makes you look older. So there's that. But so fasting, walking, get it. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Portia. Hey, Portia. Got some trolls in the comments. But thank you, Portia. How you doing? But yeah, fasting. If you follow these things, you'll get that weight snatched in no time. I'm telling you, fasting. I thoroughly enjoy fasting. I practice OMAD and then alternate day fasting. Those are the 2 things. Now, as far as restrictions, I really don't have restrictions. I find that, sorry guys, there's some motor. 1 second. I find that if you keep your diet very simple, it's easier to stick to. So what works for me is keeping things very simple. When it's too complicated and it's overly this and that, I won't stick with it. So keeping things simple and, just, it's easier for me. So OMAD helps me with that. I'm not wondering what I'm going to eat or counting calories. I don't like doing all that kind of stuff. I don't like meal prepping. If that's what you like and that's what you do, that's great for you. I'm just saying, for me, I don't like meal prepping. I don't like calorie counting. I don't like doing any of that kind of stuff. So doing OMAD and alternate day fasting, I can just focus on that one meal, and then I'm out the door. I'm going on about my business, doing what I need to do. So usually what I do is I'll have a pre-snack before I sit down for my meal, because sometimes I'll tend to get like, I'll be ravenous, and so I'll just try to scarf down my meal. But I'll have a pre-meal, and then I'll sit down for my main meal, and then I'm good, right? So OMAD, you can look up 1 meal a day, or alternate day fasting. You can look up all water fasting. You can look up all the health benefits for those things, and that weight will come off. So fasting, walking, right, and strength training. And so, ladies, I want to say this, right? I'm studying to be a personal trainer. right? So I should have my certification in December, right? And so here's what I will say. Um, Moving your body, whatever type of exercise you enjoy, just do that. I'm just telling you what I enjoy doing, and it's worked for me. But if you want to eliminate disease or even stay um, prevent it, we got to move our bodies. So just move your body. If you love dancing, dance, right? Whatever it is, the goal is just to get moving, right? Um, and then two, ladies, as we age, um, that's when we need the most muscle, right? So strength training is really good for us. Um, it's very effective, and as we age, we need to be we have to put on muscle. That's just the bottom line. So strength training is really good for women. Now I know for me, I had what was called PCOS, right? And so it's a condition that us, ladies, we deal with. And so it made it that much harder to lose the weight, right? Um, Having that insulin resistance and all of that. For me, the fasting helped me with that. And then two, the strength training. So the strength training, you build the muscle and it helps to speed up the metabolism. And that's what we need, honey. We need we need faster metabolisms around here because, as we get older, things start slowing down. So that's why I mentioned strength training, right? And specifically compound movements, right? You gotta move the body, strength train, do all the things, and you'll be good. So fasting, walking, strength training, that's what helped me lose the weight. And then that's what's also helping me to maintain the weight loss. So what? Yes, part of your lifestyle, my lifestyle. Oh, thank you. It has to be a lifestyle. She brought up a good point. It has to be a lifestyle. You can't go into this thinking, okay, I'm gonna do this for like a week, 2 weeks, a month, 2 months, and then fall off. The issues come in when we're not consistent with it. Sorry, it's on a motorbike. And you don't make it a part of your lifestyle. So making it a part of your lifestyle, it becomes second nature. Like to the point where now, if I don't get out and walk, if I don't strength train, I feel off. Or say like I overindulge in something that I'm not supposed to have or whatever the case. If I have too many days of that, my body is like, girl, no. Get up off of this junk and do what you need to do. So the lifestyle thing is really important because it just becomes second nature. It's a part of your life. It's a part of, you know what I'm saying, those habits that you build. So it's just building sustainable habits that will take you far. So if you think about like investing, right? You invest X amount of dollars over time. Well, in the long run, you're going to have, a substantial amount of money. So it's the same thing with our bodies. When we're eating right every day, you're making those decisions to eat right, to exercise, meditation on the word of God, or, out walking and different things like that. Reading, all those things that we do, it's paying into your future long term, right? So it's no point in, I say health is wealth. So there's no point, you got all this money, but if your health is not where it needs to be, you're gonna use all of your wealth trying to get back your health. But if you're like you're building all this wealth Okay, let's make sure we're building our health. Let's make sure you're investing properly by making the decisions now, you know, eating right, walking, dancing, running, jogging, whatever, strength training, kettlebell training, all the things, whatever you enjoy doing. All of those things are going to add up in the long run. And that's what we want. That's what you want, you know? So make it your lifestyle. Build those habits, sustainable habits that over time, you see another problem is we be wanting them Amazon Prime results. We be wanting them Amazon Prime results. We want it in 2 days. It ain't gonna happen like that. It ain't gonna happen like that. When you trying to building success, I mean, God can do it the way He want, right? You can be an overnight success, right? But I'm just saying for the majority, it don't tend to happen like that. Everything big starts off small. So what I'm saying is, when you're trying to be successful in your journey, you're gonna start off small, and then it's gonna turn out it's gonna turn out big. So like I said, when I started my journey, losing 100 pounds seemed impossible. I started in like April of 2020. It seemed impossible. But I was like, okay, let me break this down into some goals. So I had my long-term goals, short-term goals, and then weekly, and then I did and daily goals. And I'm telling you, as you execute on your daily goals, weekly goals, monthly goals, baby, you're gonna get to that yearly goal, right? But you gotta stay consistent. We gotta stay disciplined. It was so many times in my journey when I got so discouraged, like losing 100 pounds, it seemed impossible. Like, girl, you ain't gonna do this. And my thing was, I was just like, well, I'll just accept it. I'll accept being this way. But I knew God had more in store for me. And what I'm saying is, I feel like sometimes we settle for just, okay, I'll just accept being like this. And that was me. I just accepted being over 350 something pounds and having all these ailments in my body. I can't freely move my body the way I wanted to, so I just accepted it. But then I remember I went to the doctor, and honey, them military doctors aren't mean. Some are. And girl, he got me right together. I was so embarrassed. But sometimes the truth hurts. And I knew I needed to change, but I just wasn't willing to put in the work. And that's what it is. Sometimes we don't want to put in the work. But I got up and I was like, okay, let's get this work done. Hi. And I said, okay, Lord, I'm going to change. I want to live to glorify you in my body. I want to glorify God. I want to be here for His purpose. Don't let nothing take you out before your time. And I was going to allow that to probably take me out before my time. But I said, no, Lord, I'm going to live to serve you, and I'm going to honor you with my body. And I got up and we got to work. We got to work, honey. And 10 months later, that weight came off. And thank you. Enjoy the journey and process, right? Get to know who you are. Exactly. That's exactly what it is. I wrote in my book, I started to learn, I started discovering who I was in this process. And the thing is, When you confront things that are challenging to you, although it's scary and it's daunting, you realize like, oh my gosh, I'm that girl. I can do it, right? You can do it because you realize like, okay, you start to realize who you are in the process. That's exactly. And then two, the journey becomes enjoyable, right? When I was going through the process, even still going through it, right? Um, it becomes, you start to enjoy it. You really do start to enjoy it. So that's a really good point you made. You start to enjoy it. If you go into it like, oh, this humdrum attitude, you're not going to enjoy it. But when you go into it like, okay, this process, even though I know it's going to be hard and all the things, I'm going to enjoy it, because I'm telling you, it's so much sweeter on the other end when you know you put in the work, you did everything you could possibly do to change your life. And when you get there, you're talking about like sweet victory. Oh my gosh, you're going to be sitting on top of the world, because it's not just about losing weight. Yeah, we want to lose weight and get snatched and all those things. But what I'm saying is, it's about confronting those things that you didn't think you were capable of doing. Like I was saying, I didn't think I was capable of losing this weight because I had so much of it to lose and it seemed impossible. And I would hear people, make comments and all kinds of things. People said to me, one time someone said to me, how is your husband married to you? Someone said that to me. Can you believe that? Someone actually said, because I was really heavier, and my husband is a very slim guy, very handsome, stoic, tall, dark, and handsome, all the things. And someone said to me, look at your husband and look at you. But I was shocked when they said it, right? But it's amazing what people think of you, right? But what matters is what you think of yourself. That's where the strength comes in. It don't matter what other people have to say. It's like, what do you think of yourself? And what are you capable of? That was me. I'm like, okay, yeah, people got this stuff to say, but I know what I'm capable of. And we're going to do this. And the victory is so much sweeter when you on the other side, when you face all the noise, all the haters and naysayers. People talk mad cash about you, whatever the case. When you put in the work, when you stay disciplined, when you stay focused, right? Perseverance. When you get there, that victory is so much sweeter. That was my test. I'm telling you, because baby, a test it was. But here we are, and we're still gonna keep going, guys. So I just wanted to come on here and encourage y'all. Like I was saying, we want to get these snatch waists and all these different things, but it first starts up here and in here. If you know your why you're trying to do it, because here's the thing, so many things, I've had so many life events happen on my journey that could have took me back to my old eating habits, and I could have fell back into a depression. You get what I'm saying? If I would have allowed like family members in the hospital, all kinds of sickness, all kinds of different things that have happened, that it kind of shook me to the point where if I would have allowed that depression to seep back in and take me back to being sad and depressed and just eating my feelings and emotions, stuffing down my emotions. But being on this journey, it's taught me that we're going to have to you got to confront these things. Because if you don't confront it, it'll take over you. And I refuse. So many life events. But I said, okay, I'm going to get up and I'm gonna do what I know is right. And I stayed the course. Even I mean, I could be on here for hours telling y'all all the different things that has happened during the course of my journey. But only but God, right? And then two, just staying focused on your journey, on your why. Because that's the thing, right? You have to have your why, because your why is going to keep you disciplined. What's that one scripture? My people perish from a lack of knowledge. Where that knowledge is vision. Where there is no vision, people cast off restraint. So if you don't have a vision, you won't be disciplined, right? So on your journey, whatever your vision is, write it down. Write that vision down. Give it to God, right? But have the vision. But here's the thing: along the way, life is gonna get in the way. Things are gonna happen, but don't cast off your discipline. Stay disciplined in your goals, and you'll get there. I'm telling you, you'll get there. I'm a living witness. If you stay focused, and you can go look at my videos, and you can see the before and after. The proof is in the pudding. I wouldn't come on here and tell y'all nothing any differently than what I did. Absolutely. Yes, God will send you everything you need. Don't expect your close people to give you what you watch your expectations. Yep. That's exactly what it is. We got to watch our expectations. Stay focused. We got to stay focused. Regardless of other people and what they have going on, you got to stay the course. Because you never know the blessing, right? The blessing on the other side of that. And that's the thing, is to keep you from getting to that blessing that's on the other side of your pain, that journey. We got to go through it. And I'm glad I did, because I've been able to do some wonderful things because of this journey. The one thing that I was struggling with the most, that I was the most rebellious in, has been the very area that God has opened so many doors for me. I've been able to go and talk on TV about my journey, written a book, just so many wonderful experiences that I've had just by submitting and just by saying, okay, I'm gonna do what's right, you know? But we got to go through the process. So I wouldn't change it. It was the hardest thing. And I'm about to cry, guys. Woo. It was the hardest thing. One of the hardest things I think I've ever had to do. And like I said, it's not just about weight. It was just about confronting that mindset of just accepting, I just want to say that you guys, you're so much more capable. You're capable of more. You're capable of so much more than what you think you can do. And sometimes we allow our mindsets to keep us in a place, sometimes because we don't have the support or the resources or whatever it is that you feel like you don't have. Well, sometimes we allow that to keep us in a spot. But I just want to tell you that you're capable of so much more. And if you can just really discipline your mind that you can do all things through Christ, nothing will be impossible to you, right? It don't matter what kind of journey. What I'm telling y'all, I know I'm talking about weight loss, but the mindset, it can apply to any journey that you want. Any journey. So let me sum this up, y'all. So you talking about you want to get a snatch waist, right? Like I said, do these things. I'm putting y'all up on free game. I wish someone put me up on this, but I'm gonna give it to y'all because I want to see y'all succeed in your health goals and your weight loss goals, and just be the person that God has called you to be. So fasting, right? change your diet. And no point in fasting if you're still gonna eat crap and junk food and this and that and the third. So 80% of the time, eat healthy whole foods, fruits, veggies, lean meats, all the things, right? And then that 20%, you can have the junk and all that, right? So fasting, change your diet, walking. Now, whatever form of cardio you enjoy is what you enjoy. But what I'm saying for me is when I started walking, I spent majority of my time walking, right? And that weight started coming off. I was over 300 and something pounds. I couldn't do a whole lot. So I was kind of restricted. Now I can do a whole lot more, but I still enjoy the walks. It's just very therapeutic. It's stress relieving, all the things. So walking. And then too, I've met a lot of wonderful people out on my walks. I get to meet you guys, right? You guys have joined me for my morning walk this morning. So thank you for tuning in. You guys have been on with me for 41 minutes. So I thoroughly appreciate your time, right? So the walking, I met a lot of people, right? Met some really cool people, developed some really good relationships. Strength training. Strength training is going to be key because the strength training allows you to build muscles. And ladies, as we age, like I said, I'm getting ready to turn 40 in 2 days. So God be the glory. As we get older, we need to strengthen the bones in our bodies. We need to build muscle because you want to speed up your metabolism, right? You want, and that's the thing. And the strength training is going to help you with that. So the thing is, you want to burn muscle while you're doing nothing, essentially, right? So they call it like an afterburn effect. But that's the thing. You want to build muscle. You want to strengthen the bones in your muscles because as we get older, our bones start to get a little bit more fragile and different things. So you want to make sure that you're strengthening the bones. And then as we get older, we tend to be more prone to falls and accidents. So to help with that, we need to strengthen the bones in our bodies, right? Yeah. And then two, so I said fasting, walking, strength training, eating properly. And then two, guys, your rest. Sleep is very important on a weight loss journey. So what I do is I try to eliminate TV after a certain time or electronic devices, because something about that, the blue light that emits from the devices, it messes with our circadian rhythm and all of that. So I try to eliminate as much as I can. Sometimes I'll be up editing. I'm not even gonna lie. But for the most part, I try to go to bed at a certain time and wake up at a certain time. So your sleep is gonna be really key. And because that's when your body does the most repair. So make sure you're getting really good quality sleep, rest in your body, even take naps, honey. I'm not ashamed to say I take my naps if I need it. So take you a good nap. But the thing is, you don't want to stress your body out, right? Sometimes when you're going on these journeys, if you're not careful, you can stress the body. You can build cortisol. So you're talking about snatching your waist. And that was my thing. I carried a lot of cortisol. So I had a lot of stubborn belly fat, but I was able to bring my waist back in. I'm telling y'all, go look at my before and afters. And go look at my waist before and look at my waist after. I don't have on no waist trainer. I don't have on nothing, right? All of that was done through diet and exercise and strength training, walking. Go look at it. And I was able to bring my waist back in. But one of the ways too is I made sure I got my sleep and I tried to keep my stress levels low. So that's another thing, keeping yourself kind of, look, ain't no point in stressing over it. If it's out of your control, don't worry about it. Like, it ain't worth all the stress. They say stress is a silent killer. right? You go look up all the statistics about stress. So when you bring that back into alignment, that weight will come off. It'll come off. It'll come right off. So those are all the things that I've practiced, that I continue to practice to maintain the weight loss. Because here's the thing, losing it was hard, but I will tell you, maintaining the weight loss is even harder. Even harder. So these are all the things that I do to maintain it, right? Wow, we've been on here for 45 minutes. All the things I do to maintain the weight loss. So yeah, I won't say it's easy to lose the weight, because it's not. I had to fight to lose it. But it's been an even harder fight to maintain it. Because, you get comfortable, you're like, yeah, I lost this weight, doing all the things. But implementing those things, you start to, and here's the thing about this journey, everybody's body is different. And then when you go on this journey, we were talking about understanding who you are, the process. You start to learn what's right for your body. So what might work for you may not work for me. And what might work for me may not work for you, right? So I can give you like the basics, but at the end of the day, you're gonna have to see what works best for you. And so when you learn what works best for you, you know what's tried and true for your body. And because I did that, I learned the process of, I learned what works for me. I've been able to kind of keep it off, because I know, like, okay, girl, you're doing too much. And I go right back to my my routine, and then the weight comes back down. So you just, you got to learn what works for your body, and you'll be good. It's building these sustainable habits over time. So if you want to get that weight snatch, you do those things. I promise you that weight will come off. That weight will come in. And like I said, go look at my before and afters. And I've been talking about this for years now, and it's worked. And I didn't know that this was a thing. I had no idea that this was a thing, but apparently it is. And it's true, because it works. It works. But guys, I do really appreciate y'all coming on my live. We're going on 50 minutes, so I just want to thank everyone for tuning in. I appreciate your time. I don't take it lightly that you spent this time with me on my morning walk. And I hope I've said something that have encouraged you on your journey to health. And I'll be back on here probably in a few days. I'll be going live again. But thank you again for all the people in the comments on chat who's made wonderful comments. There was some trolls in the comments, but honey, we'll deal with that later. But yeah, y'all just stay focused on y'all journey. Don't get distracted, right? Just, you want that snatch waist, do those things that I talked about: fasting, walking, strength training, keeping your stress levels in check, sleeping, resting. It's okay to rest. We live in a society that'll tell you got to work, right? Yeah, we work, but there's a time to work, then there's a time to rest. So rest your bodies, rest. It's a good thing for us. All right, y'all take care. Y'all, God bless. Love y'all.